Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios, Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shaggy McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventrue.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening. I am Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
And as everybody can tell tonight, we have another guest this week. We've got the one and only Junie down there playing Tracy Graves, but I'm going to let her, I can't pronounce her last name. I just can't. I'll let her pronounce and introduce herself.
I'm Junie Von Esch, and I'm playing Tracy Graves, Clan Tremere.
And when we were with this coterie last week, episode 6 was a rough one. Alessandro Giovanni finally showed up at Jackie's Haven to check on his child, and they've got a bit of a revelation that he was a monster, but not in the way they initially thought. Zal was actually volunteering for the particular memory wipes that was going through. And they let him live. Shocking, I know, but they let him live. But as he was leaving, it was revealed by Izzy, of all people, that the madam had had a hand in setting him up. She's not as neutral as she claims sometimes. And of course, during this meeting with Alessandro, Franklin, one of the local Hermetic mages, showed up to speak with Roscoe because he had found some disturbing things when he was reaching out for Samantha. And then in the second half of the episode, there was a very powerful scene involving just what was done to Samantha. And it ended in a brutal way that if you haven't seen the episode, go back and watch it. Seriously, it was rough for all the players involved. But as we pick up tonight, we're picking up the night after those events. Because Jackie has decided to come check on Roscoe to make sure he's okay. And Jackie, as you are escorted into his main living area by Michael, Roscoe is standing over by a table. There's a table, you don't remember seeing it out before, though he's got it set up in a prominent side along one of the walls. And on the table is an odd collection of things. Some you recognize, some you don't. There's a Cupid doll on the table. Next to it is a teacup. And finally, a bracelet that you have seen before. One that was given to him as a gift. It's the bracelet that Samantha had given him. And I'm going to turn this over to Roscoe and Jackie as the two are gathered in his haven.
Good evening, Roscoe. I wanted to stop by to check on you.
Oh, good evening, Jackie. Good to see you. I'm doing all right, for the most part.
It'll take time.
Yeah, I will. It'll be a good while. But I have a lot to reflect on.
I see you have a collection.
It's a reminder of, well, do you recognize any of the pieces?
I take it the doll is from Eleanor.
Yes.
You used to have tea with Sun Shi.
Right?
And of course,
Very-
the bracelet was from Samantha.
Yes. Just reminders of those who I had thought to get close to and have them taken away. It's one of the aspects of our own life. It's hard to deal with.
I wish I could tell you it gets easier, but it doesn't.
So I've been seeing. Oh well, and life goes on.
Eleanor, however, was not taken away. She chose to leave.
Yeah, I didn't know about all the aspects of that. To me, it seemed like she had been taken away. But
She could have said no, but she didn't.
that's true. But nonetheless, she's gone from my own life.
And mine.
Mhm.
Be wary falling for the Malkavians. They are master manipulators.
Yeah, but they make it feel so good, though.
Oh, indeed. She and I had been partners, as it were, for 16 years prior to meeting you.
Mhm.
I thought she was my friend. Hell, I loved her.
You two were very, very close.
But when it came down to it, it was manipulation.
Hmm. But well, I don't mean to pry, but what ended up happening? That you just discovered? You discovered this after she was gone, or?
Yes.
Hmm.
I started to see it before she left. I noticed how she would latch on to whomever she felt would give her what she wanted at the time.
Okay, but yeah, I think I'm bit of a soft touch when it comes to that. So.
Yeah. And ultimately, she consulted with demons. Neither one of us can compete with that.
No, we can't.
I do not begrudge you your sentimentality, Roscoe. You have not seen all of my haven. Trust me, I'm very sentimental as well. But pay attention. Romance amongst kindred It's never always as simple as it seems.
No, it isn't. And unfortunately, it seems it always comes to an end,
It
an
does.
unpleasant end.
But every
Eventually.
love story ends.
True.
And those who survive are the ones that can tell it. What we're talking about gives me more just to think about looking at my collection. Each piece tells a story.
Mm-hmm. There'll probably be at least a few more pieces added to it as Roscoe lives his own life and hopefully lives as long as you have.
Well, as long as you're mindful about the buttons you push in your pursuit of knowledge.
I don't know that I have a lot of control over that one. It may be my undoing. That's just what it's going to be for me.
Understand that sometimes curiosity does kill the cat. But no, truly, I do hope you have a long life, Roscoe. I know that last night was very hard.
It was.
And I want you to take whatever time you need. If you need to be alone, be alone. If you need to be around others, be around others. Do what you need.
My typical thing is finding something to throw myself into. I don't know, maybe a new position somewhere in Milwaukee.
That will come soon. I have to have the timing perfect. But yes, you will have your position. And no, it will not be regent of the chantry there. It will be a court position.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much.
I protect those that are loyal, Roscoe. Always have, always will. But Eleanor broke both our hearts. Sanji, that was sad. Indeed. And honestly, I know Samantha was batshit insane. But
the actual seconds and minutes of it were not so bad.
I'm sure. I'm sure at times you both were exactly what each other needed. And I am sorry.
Thank you
for your loss.
I do appreciate that. But let's talk of happier things.
I plan to also ask my son to join us in Milwaukee.
Very good. Do you have an idea what he would?
He will continue his tutelage under Cedric. I did get that to happen. And eventually he will become my war master.
Very good.
Yes. So.
Have you gotten him untangled from Andre?
That's the goal. One step at a time. Because Cedric is already coming with me.
Oh, okay. Another prize.
Yes.
You are going to be quite the force to be reckoned with.
Let's let some learn that late.
Michael steps into the room, leans over to Roscoe. Mr. Akers, Miss Graves is downstairs.
Oh, come
asking to see you.
Yes, bring her in, please.
Yes, sir. And he turns and walks out of the room.
Do you need me to leave for this?
No,
Oh,
no.
About a minute or two later, he comes back and brings Tracy Graves in with him, who's got a stack of books with her.
Tracy.
Roscoe,
Tracy, it's as good to see you again.
Mr. Ront, a pleasure. Well, hi. I brought these for you.
Oh, thank you.
First editions. Some of my
Wow.
collection from early 19th century. Thought you
Oh.
might like a gander.
I really would. This will keep me busy for a bit.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I did want to ask about something. I got a rather
Mhm.
disturbing message from Mr. Crown.
Oh, I see.
Apparently, there were, as he says, and I quote, difficult choices had to be made at Roscoe's, and I need not be in Chicago. I may or may not be back soon. He might be difficult to find. I would like to know as into what has transpired,
He
being that
didn't
we
men-
were. No,
he didn't mention at all what happened.
no, he did not.
You're aware of one of my mage friends, Samantha.
Samantha, hold on a moment.
She's one of the
Oh,
trio.
yes, she drove us to Milwaukee when I had my little talk with
Ah.
Decker.
Okay. So you do remember her.
Yes.
Okay. We had something of a special relationship.
Okay.
But in the course of being with me in an encounter with one of our numerous adversaries, she was sent to the underworld for a bit.
I'm sorry. What?
She was sent for a visit to the Lady of Fate. You know who she is?
I'm rather versed.
It didn't go so well. To make it not drag it out, the Lady of Fate hooked and pulled out Samantha's avatar and had it soul forged into a mask, along with two other spirits that were locked in competition to control the avatar. And it was given back to Samantha as a physical object.
And I know what that does to mages.
Yes. She was in terrible straits when she returned.
She was in distress.
Yes.
I see. And when did this happen?
This was yesterday, right? Okay. Yeah,
She was
this
returned yesterday from that?
Yeah, day before
Well,
yesterday.
the day before yesterday. She had returned maybe a week ago, and spent some time mostly catatonic, sleeping like 10 hours a day. Very, very basic cognition, just simple yes, no answers to questions, and no initiative on her own.
Because the avatar was ripped from her body, so she had no soul to connect herself
Right.
with.
Right.
Why didn't you call? You know, I told you after the trial, I got your back.
I was not thinking straight, and I just wasn't thinking of the right, the right course of action to take until Franklin showed up to talk to me, because he had disturbing trouble finding Samantha, and then I brought him back to my haven to discuss it.
Uh-huh.
And as we were talking with her and trying to assess what was going on with this mask, it started to take control of her. And
What happened?
Franklin destroyed the mask. Roscoe ended up having to kill Samantha. She was asking for either embrace or death. She was blatantly suicidal.
Well,
And
we'll meet without her avatar. I'm sure
Yes.
you remember, Mr. Akers.
fortunately too well.
Franklin did ensure that her soul was not sent back.
Went back to the wheel.
I believe so, if that is how it happens.
Reincarnation.
But either way, she isn't going to have to deal with those spirits and such again.
Fair. Mr. Crown is very well versed in spirits.
But needless to say, Mr. Crown was distraught. And he left. He said he was going for a walk. That is the last we saw of him.
Oh, I think
told
he
him to
walked
be
right out of
safe.
Chicago. That's fair. I've seen his work firsthand when he deals with souls, so... so it means I have to go find him.
do you know where to look for him? Any idea?
Of course I do. There is that little ritual we know.
That is true.
And, well, I will always, shall we say, try to contact him prior to showing up, but I can't promise that the message will reach him before I knock on his door. There's many things afoot that I kind of need him for. Can't do certain things without a mage to, shall we say, stop a ward spirit forge somewhere in Milwaukee.
What?
Fun. We did everything completely, slightly, kind of legal. In theory. Let's just say werewolves are guarding it. Decker doesn't have a home anymore. Well, at least he doesn't have the home he had anymore. He had made some comments and threatened some people, and I hold my promises rather dear and paid him a visit.
Yes.
Let's just say you'll be a stone like lightning.
Oh, well, let's do hope Mr. Crown does return, because if my plans work out as they are seeming to work out, I will need him to assist in cleaning up said ballpark.
Hence why I've been working with said things in Milwaukee already. I may have plans within plans. I know.
Are you working towards my praxis, Tracy?
What? Why, I'd never. Why would anyone think I'd do such a thing? Of course I am. What are you talking about? Seriously. There's very few people I trusted with my plans, and Mr. Akers has always been there. So, of course, I trust him. And being that you are the subject of plans.
I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your efforts, truly.
There has to be some cleanup around here. And the way that, shall we say, certain things in certain clans and certain families have happened, let's just clean up Milwaukee and just, push everyone up there. Jackson can have this trash fire. It's fine.
That's kind of the way I see it.
Funny thing is, I was born and raised here, but at the same time, look at what happened. And I think if we can get Mr. Crown back into play, not only can we, shall we say, clean up your ballpark, but at the same time, get a functioning double chantry somewhere where we can forge an alliance.
Exactly.
That's what we do. And then if there are problems, if we can't handle it, well, we have friends to help us with that.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, if
And
you need any sort of help with Franklin, please ask. If there's anything that I
okay,
can do.
sure, help me find Franklin. That'd be great. Help me convince him to come back. I might be honey with words, but sometimes it takes a what do they say? A bro's perspective to bring men back and forge with fire or steel. I don't know. I don't know how the young kids say things at times. But I look at it as, and if we can turn around and build this up and show Mr. Crown what we really can do and how much we care for our fellow living human beings, he might be persuaded to help us and then forge an alliance.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I am going to be in the works once I secure the city as my domain, branching out to other supernaturals in the area. Because it's my understanding that there's a location in that city that is problematic and is likely the cause of the goblin roads.
Traveling those are a bitch.
Yes, they are. I've done it many times.
Just came back.
And that is on my agenda for things to take care of in Milwaukee, but that will take time because I will have to build and negotiate truces and agreements and such.
I'm sure, Roscoe, and I can definitely assist you in that.
I would love it.
I may have friends that are in, shall we say, magical places, and I'm not just talking mages. I would rather build a truce and a forge because I know SI isn't just going after us, they're going after all of us.
All of us, yes.
And what better way to do it than all of us together?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen werewolves and I've seen what they've done, what they can do. And nope, I'd rather be friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd, but you know. And the little puppy up in Milwaukee doesn't understand.
No, he really doesn't.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't want to get it. And sorry, if you can't do business, you don't get the position.
Nope.
So when can we get you up there?
I am waiting to hear from certain people.
Mm.
Glad you've been doing your work, but I have others doing their work there as well.
That's fair. I do mine because I know that we need to build something.
Absolutely,
and
we
need it
do.
now.
I am of the same mind with that. And I have some intimate knowledge of how the SI does things. And definitely want to try to forge alliances.
I'm thinking if we can get something there going sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If you want me to introduce you to some people, let me know. You know, I love introducing a great party, you know, casual acquaintances, just happen to meet.
Absolutely.
Who's wiser?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure.
You can arrange that. I'll be happy to attend a soiree.
Really? Should I count all of your friends in there?
You can.
You'll just have to tell me what everyone likes to, shall we say, imbibe. I may or may not be learning some interesting things.
Yes, well, certain things suit all palates.
This is true. I love typo negative with my wine. It's fantastic.
Yes.
If we can get Mr. Crown back on board, get him right where he can assist us, it would be magical.
He's going to need a little bit of time, I'm sure. It was devastating to him to lose a mage.
Yes, unfortunately, they don't grow on trees.
Yes.
They happen to be the old-fashioned way, from what I've been told.
So, but I wish you luck, truly.
Well, I wish you luck too, so we can get you up on board because this would be something that would really serve us.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just saying the Tremere, I'm saying all
of us. Mm-hmm. I agree.
So you guys let me know when your pieces are in play on the chessboard. I don't want to refer to any of your friends as pawns, but I would like to say when your friends are all in their right places, you let me know. I will do what I can to make a magical party, and with Franklin with us, it'll be amazing, to be honest.
That's wonderful. I'll be in touch.
Perfect. Is there anything I can do for you, Roscoe?
I think you just did it with these books. It'll keep my mind off current issues. But thank you very much for that.
Anytime. Again, I told you. Got your back. And if we can do something that can make, shall we say, Milwaukee outshine Chinatown here,
Yes,
I'm down.
that's a goal.
Perfect. Well, then I will leave you two to your evening then.
It was good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see
It
you.
was wonderful. Thank you so much.
And Michael escorts you back out of the Haven area through the bookstore. Does Jackie and Roscoe need a brief scene after Tracy leaves, or have you said what you need to say?
I think I'm good. If Roscoe needs to say something, he can.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Except to say, it's really good to see you tonight, Jackie. Thanks for coming by.
Of course. I wanted to make sure that you are okay.
I will be.
I know. I mean, when I lost Nolan, I pretty much cloistered myself away. But that is how I grieve. I like to do so privately. But if you need anything, I'm only a phone call away.
Thank
And she
you.
pats his hand and leaves.
And as Jackie is leaving the Haven, we're flashing to Jenny, who's in her office. Knock on her door to the office, and Tasha pokes it in. You wanted to see me, Jenny?
Yes, Tasha, dear, please come in.
And she comes and closes the door behind her. I've got the latest earnings reports all done up. I'll send them over to you in the morning so that you get them when you get up. That way, I want to check over them one more time before I send them over to you.
Thank you, Tasha. Very diligent of you. I appreciate your work. But it's not what I wanted to talk to you about tonight.
No.
So I hope that doesn't crimp your style any.
You're the boss. Whatever you want to talk about. I mean, that's how this works, isn't it? That's how I learn from you. You talk, I listen. I learn new things, and then I apply those things.
Okay. In that regard, you are doing fabulous. But I have I guess this is more of an informal kind of thing. It's not really a learning. It's more of a pick your brain kind of thing. Because I guess that's something that they do. So anyway, just sit down. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
The mental image of picking my brain, seeing what I've seen you do, it kind of, my brain had to process that a second.
No, I'm not going to literally pick your brain. I want to figuratively pick your brain.
Okay,
so,
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes. No, trust me, Tasha. If I wanted to harm you, I would have let Critus take you. So no, sorry. What do you think it means to be like me?
I mean, what do you mean? Do you mean you, the person, you, a kindred? I don't understand.
The unliving, living creature that stalks the night and the hearts and minds of all the beautiful women of Chicago. That was. Don't tell anybody I said that, Tasha.
Look, I grew up where everyone knows that nighttime is when the danger's out there. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we thought was dangerous isn't really what's dangerous, to be fair. But I grew up knowing the night is where the danger is. What do I think of you? You've got eternity to build your empire, to make your mark on things, even if you can't you can't end up in a history book because that would reveal what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have eternity to make a difference, not just for you, but for those that are important to those that your communities. Look what you've done here since you've been here.
So you see the condition that I live in as beneficial, it seems.
Look, you drink blood. I'll be fair. At first it was kind of, but then I started thinking about the people I grew up with compared to drinking blood. They've done much more horrible things. Trafficking people, ruining lives. And drinking blood's a minor thing compared to that.
I mean, if you want to quantify things, probably, sure. You've had kind of an insular view of this world that I brought you into, because let's be real, there are some of my, well, probably my kind, but there's also of the other groups that do those things that you're talking about. You knew people did those things. They do those things too. Just because they're kindred doesn't keep them from doing shitty human things.
No, you're right. But because you're kindred, you can. I understand the establishment is what it is, and it's built to keep people in their place, but you can do within your own means what you can to put stops to that.
Yeah. If you have a strong enough desire, you can. I guess thing is, Tasha.
Evans told me stories about some of the bad stuff that's going on, and because I've talked to him some nights about the concept of how big a wave you can make and get away with it. When he's not doing his himbo routine, he's actually pretty sharp.
Yeah, that's the thing about kindred and those who kind of circle kindred, is we're duplicitous creatures by our very nature, I suppose. I mean, Evan's putting on an act to draw people in or lower their inhibitions or beliefs about him. I do the same thing. I'll be honest with you, Tasha. The blood that runs through me, the blood of the gangrel, is not viewed in a positive light in most Camarilla cities. And I can use that to my advantage because people think I'm just some dumb dog or whatever that's going to fuck it up. So they don't have very high expectations of me. So it allows me to excel in a way that they're not expecting. So
I can understand that. There's places I go in the city, I'm just Southside street trash. Judged by what I look like, what I'm wearing, who's with me. It's part of that establishment thing that I talked about. There's always a structure to things that if you play your game right, you can use that against them.
Yes, indeed you can. I guess I just wanted to I don't know, I wanted to talk to you. I just so you know, I've hung out, spent some time with an individual that is very old, and I've been warned by Nicholas to stay away from her because she'll do horrible things to me or something. But sometimes the unbeating heart wants what the unbeating heart wants. So that's a weird statement, and I guess I'm not great at the whole girl talk thing. Who'da thunk?
First thing I would, if we're going to do girl talk here, don't listen to a thing that creepy fucker says.
Oh yeah, no. Doesn't leave this room. Nicholas has made it onto the shit list of many an individual who are far more cunning and powerful than he could ever hope to be. So
I get those Jeffrey Dahmer vibes every time I'm around him.
yeah. That's because he has the personality of a moldy loaf of bread. Wait, no, the moldy loaf of bread has a better personality because you could theoretically make penicillin from that.
Oh, I mentioned that I got that feeling from him to Evan, and Evan made a comment about you don't know the half of it he has eaten, and then he stopped talking.
Yeah. No, we're not going to go into that. No, I'll be honest with you, Tasha. There's a whole world of rules and regulations and games and bullshit you have no fucking idea about. And that's been partly my attempt to protect you some, to insulate you from Chicago on the whole, because I hate Chicago. You've probably heard me say it. It's my fucking slogan. I mean, even Isabella gave me a shirt for Christmas to commemorate my love of Chicago. So, yeah, it's.
I hear it a couple times a week of what was that? I heard you last time. These motherfuckers push me one more time. I'm on the jet.
It's always fueled. It's always ready to go. Those are the rules. No, I have to take care of some things before I leave, no matter how much I would love to leave. Reality is that it's time, and I know it's been such a short amount of time, but it's time for you to start thinking about your future. Do you want to be the next? I don't know. Do you want to go back to your life? And do you want, because you could still have time. If you waited and waited and waited, you would never be able to go back to your life. Do you have choices? You go back to your life. Do you want to stay on board with me? Do you want to, I hate to say it like this, sounds like a pyramid scheme. That's the Tremere thing. But do you want to take that the Tremere, like Roscoe? I don't know. The education stuff. I'm throwing words out there. I apologize. If you've heard him from Evan, awesome. If not, I'll catch you up to speed one of these nights.
Go into real detail about, you know how long it took me to get him to explain about Fiorenza?
Oh, yeah, I believe that one.
I mean,
I believe that.
The way he described her, I was getting this mental image of the Wolf of Wall Street meets, Underworld and leathers or some shit. He every time he mentions her, he talks flippant, but you can see that edge in his voice that, he's afraid of her.
Oh yeah, as he should be. Fiorenza is powerful.
Yeah.
She wields real power. Like, I have power in my own way, but like, she wields real power.
You ask me what I want. Well, let me put it in the terms I understand. Hopefully you understand it too. Prior to meeting you, I was clueless. And then you opened my eyes to a whole different world I didn't know existed. That, well, first of all, it explains a lot of shit that I've always wondered about. Mainly because how come the system is so rigged against everybody? It's because there's a hidden thumb holding the wheels. I can't go back to being outside of that. I already know it. I'm forever changed by this.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, most people would say they would never like release somebody, but I try to at least do right by those around me, because I guess it's my way of trying to stay as human as I possibly can. So becoming like this, you lose something. There is a small part of you that you lose in the process, and you have to fight to hold on to what you can. But if you can stay active and focused on something, it's not super difficult. You just don't want to become, I don't know. I was going to say you don't want to become like Nicholas, but he was always creepy. I don't think that's a focus issue.
We all got a dark side to us. You saw mine the night we went to that church.
Yeah.
I'm used
but that
to
was
fighting it
badass.
and holding it in and keeping it from ruling me.
Oh, and also, like I said, I am happy. I'm thankful for what's happened to me to a degree. It's allowed me to slough off the shackles that were holding me, because I came from literally nothing. If I had not become this, I would never have become anything. I would have probably been killed by a fucking mobster or something in Vegas. Something would have happened to me. Like this, I don't want you to think that this is some horrible affliction, as it were. I don't view it as such. It's empowered me to live my best life.
I just can't picture you being a nobody. It just doesn't fit the Jenny I've seen.
Yeah, well, that's because the Jenny you've seen has pulled herself up from nothing and, kissed a few rings and done a few deals and, worked her way to where she is.
When you got a gang in the area that's running the show, you pay the tribute you got to pay and bide your time, right?
Oh, yeah.
See, you talking about kissing a ring. That's no different than that.
See, okay, I'm not trying to force the decision for you. I want you to think about it, because if we're being real, if I bring you into this life full-fledged 100%, there are things that change for you. You can't go to family dinners anymore. You can't spend the holidays with, your brother or your aunt or your parents. These people will all die in your life and fade away into nothingness. It's the reality of it. But at the same time, if you want to take that next step and you want to try and help me in the future, I mean, that sounds weird, but like, honestly, you and we can be fucking power players together. We can control part of Chicago. I know Jackie's letting me set up shop in Milwaukee. We can control part of fucking Milwaukee. And of course, we control part of Vegas, as you already saw. So, I mean, it's not all bad. It's one of those things. It's just, you're the prime candidate, which sounds really weird. And now I sound like I'm begging you, which isn't the case. It's one of those things you need to actually think about it. And unfortunately, because of being under my thrall, it's going to be hard for you to make that choice clear-headed. But I want you to talk to like Evan, talk to anybody else that's in this life that you feel like you can talk to. I want you to talk to those people so you can come to the best decision that's right for you.
I mean, I'll talk to Evan. I'll talk to Peter and even Emilio. I don't know if you've realized this, but we all have each other's numbers because we're the daytime support. That's not what they call themselves, but we're the daytime support. We rely on each other during the day.
Yeah, well, you can't really rely on Emilio in the day very much anymore, so.
I still haven't heard what happened with him. Nobody's been talking.
I'll let you in on that then. We found a bad bitch. She thought she was real sneaky. She set up this big dungeon of doom and despair. She made Emilio sick. And I beat her monkey ass against the floor as a bear because fuck that bitch. And then Isabella saved him by embracing him. She brought him into this life to do that.
That's why he's not answering when we call him or when I call him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Makes sense. I will give it thought. I mean, it's a lot to ask to give up family connections and everything, and I'll definitely talk to Evan about it. I'll give him some liquor first because he's a lot more likely to shed the himbo stuff when I hit him with some liquor. It's
Yeah.
expensive getting him drunk, though. Have you realized that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, you always you want to make sure you got to find a place that has like cheap beer or whatever, like to save on the wallet, or like a wedding. If you can sneak into a wedding with an open bar, that'll work too.
Yeah, but he has these expensive tastes. I mean,
Okay.
last time he was drinking, he brought Glen Gooey with him.
You start him with a bottle of the good stuff, and then you go to the cheaper stuff to keep it going. Like you can't just keep pouring him in the,
I wonder if he'd notice if I replaced the expensive stuff with cheap stuff in the same bottles and just.
Tasha, why don't you run that experiment? Find out.
I think I will.
Sounds like a plan. I think I already know the answer, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. So
we've got that kind of a thing going here lately where, we every time he starts the himbo thing, I start calling him on it.
Oh, more power to you. Honestly, I'm glad you guys are all getting along. It's been great. I've actually really enjoyed having you here. Like, Vegas was one thing, but having somebody like you in Chicago has been awesome. So yeah, I'll be honest. I had the person who runs the city, the prince, or runs the city, we have to pay him deference, and the wink, that he runs the city. He asked me, I had a favor from him, and he asked me what I wanted, and I said I wanted to be able to sire a child in the city while I was in the city. And I did that because, well, there wasn't really anything else he could give me, I felt like, but also because I was thinking about you. If I hadn't met you, I never would have asked for that. I would have been like, don't worry about it, put it on my tab or whatever. Damn it, Tasha. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we have to figure out. I need to talk to some other people about some things and whatever. And I need to talk to this other individual because I need to figure out if Nicholas was blowing smoke up my ass or if she's actually going to do something horrible to me. I mean, because if she's going to do something horrible to me, I need to make sure that like you're taken care of, Evan's taken care of, that Fiorenza doesn't get pissed if I just disappear. Somebody takes care of Frank.
Tasha gets you can see the flash of anger in her eyes. If she does something to you, I'll fuck her up.
Tasha, I appreciate that. I appreciate that fire. She would kill you in a millisecond without you even seeing it coming. And I've seen what she did to somebody else. So
I have to make sure she don't see me coming.
Oh my gosh, Tasha. You know what? Keep that fire in your belly, but like back burner that because you're not gonna need to do anything to her. It's gonna be fine. I just, based on what Nicholas said, I need to talk to her anyway. And different plans, different box. Don't worry about it. I don't want you to do anything stupid because we've already seen that happen to too many people in this city. Getting stupid, I mean.
You notice the fire hasn't damped down. She just smiles and kind of nods at you because she's thinking she's still planning to fuck her up.
Jenny has also not said this individual's name, so she has nothing to go off of. All right.
I'll talk to Evan some more. He's been doing real good teaching me the other side of the business, the stealth and the disguises and how to blend in plain sight, how to disappear in the crowd, how to stand out in a crowd but still not be remembered, those kind of things.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a great teacher. So
That's why I give him all that shit about the himbo. He's got so many other ways he can hide, but he prefers to switch back to that.
hey, everyone's got to have a hobby.
I told him eventually his looks will fade, and then he laughed at me, and then I remembered, no, they won't.
Yeah, they won't. Unless Fiorenza cuts him off, in which case I believe there's a song about it, something about dust in the wind, so.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him to find a way to get around even that.
Oh, yeah, no. Look, it's been great. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad I got to talk to you about this. I'm sorry it was kind of all over the place. It's just...
You mean it's like a normal meeting we have?
Yeah. Sometimes it's best if I can just kind of be all over the fucking place instead of having to focus.
If I've learned one thing, I've learned that your brain works by speaking out your trains of thought until you find the end of it. That's how you process and that's how you work. So I'm good at being that sounding board as you work through it all.
Tasha, just for that, I am not doing anything to you. Damn it, you beautiful bitch. I'm just fucking with you, Tasha.
I say, you got to let me have that choice first, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get to have your choices. It's yeah.
And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. You told me to remind you had to go visit somebody tonight.
Yeah, I have to go. Not have to. I am going to go spend some time with Isabella and see how she's doing.
Make sure she's okay.
Yeah. I'll ask her how Emilio's doing, but also I don't think it's time for me to check on Roscoe yet. I figure once he's, cried it out and ate his tub of Haagen-Dazs, then I'll take him down to Anarch territory and we'll go.
She pulls out a purse. 1 second. Hang on. Let me find this. She reaches around in a purse and she pulls out, it's a captain's hat. Give this to Isabella when you see her. In honor
Jenny
of the
takes
boat she was riding when she was in Vegas with us.
Oh. You are remembering that totally wrong. Tasha, you were the one on the boat, but you know what?
Yeah, but she was the captain. Trust me.
All right. I will make sure to give her this then.
I was just like the first mate, maybe the bartender by the end of the night.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Do you, Tasha? Do you?
Hey, I'm going to remember it the way I choose to remember things. It's a blur anyway.
That's perfectly fine. All right.
And then
I'm going to head out. You have a good rest of your night.
And I'll have the numbers for you in the morning. You've taught me always double check numbers.
You know what? That sounds awesome. I'm sure we're doing good anyway. So
yeah, but as you've had your guy Frank talk to me before about accurate reporting is important when it comes to tracking the money.
Yeah. Because if you fuck with Frank's money, he will come out here and
look
go
stern
wild
at us. I know he gets that look on his face about money. That's just.
Frank cares about his money more than I care about my money. Okay. So yeah, just don't get between Frank and his money.
Which is also your money because.
Exactly. That's why I can be all chill and relaxed about it and be the cool mom instead of, stern.
And Tasha gets up. Well, I'll see you if you're not back before too early in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow night when you wake.
Yeah. Have a good one.
And she steps out of the room.
All right. Jenny is now going to head to meet up with Isabella. So.
And where are you meeting?
Isabella's brew pub.
Okay. When you arrive at the brew pub, Emilio's nowhere to be seen. He's still officially under training, which means you keep him out of polite company. He's not been presented to the court. But it's okay. She's got other doormen that recognize you and immediately escort you back to see Isabella, who's in her office, I assume, right now.
Jenny's like gonna knock on the door. She opens it. She's like, Isabella.
Jenny, here for girls' night.
I mean, I'm here to crown you captain of the boat, apparently. And she kind of like tosses the captain's hat at Isabella.
What boat?
Tasha was talking about you were the captain of the boat from Vegas. So she got you a captain's hat because that's how she rolls.
Isabella kind of shrugs and like puts it on.
Hey, you know what? That's what we like about you, Isabella. You're fun loving. So
Apparently you are too. Heard about your walks on the other side.
oh yeah, it's fucking wild. I saw a sky with no clouds and a fucking moon. Like I saw a part of the sun for like the first time in I don't even fucking know how long. Yeah.
Think you'll do it again?
It's crazy over there. Would I do it again? I mean, maybe. Look, Isabella, she's hot. Roscoe touched my finger. He knows what I know. Like, I can't describe it to you. It's one of those things. Like, yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt that. I'm just curious how much longer it'll go on for. Playing with fire.
Aren't we all playing with fire though?
You know, that's very fair.
Speaking of fire, just wanted to let you know the mage formerly known as Samantha has passed on. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's funny to me, but it's funny in a like I have to laugh because holy fuck kind of funny, if that makes sense. So
What happened?
So apparently Corey brought her back, or she got sent back or whatever. She was in Roscoe's shop with a mask that looked kind of like her face, but not. This mage, Franklin, I don't know if you ever met Franklin.
I don't think so.
He did this like thing with like a laptop screen and like touching Samantha or the mask, or he started touching the mask, and like he was doing this thing. And it was like a movie from the mask on the or from Samantha on the laptop. She was in the other side, but like there was some lady there that was pregnant, and Samantha was we could see it. We could like feel it from the video. She was like trying to like do her like I'm a mage, I'm gonna throw fire at you shtick. And the lady was just like, nope, and like pulled something out of her. But like the thing looked kind of like what you see for like the classical kind of like Hallmark card angel, if that makes sense. I don't know. She turned it into the fucking mask and then sent her back here. So yeah. Samantha was fucked up.
So how did that lead to her death?
So I guess she woke up. I don't know. The mask started glowing and the room started shaking, and I said, see ya. And I dipped out because Jenny don't play that. So anyway, Roscoe stabbed her in the heart.
Was that like the first response? Did not try anything else?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I have no idea. Jackie came down and said, hey guys, there's a body for you, Nicholas. And there was a body for him, for Nicholas. So
Isabella like takes off the bracelet because she has a bracelet too. And she like kind of twirls it in her fingers or like spins it around her hand, looks down at it, and then she fucking throws it at the wall. It's like, damn it.
And it shatters.
Now what am I gonna do?
Pieces.
What?
She owed me.
Oh, right. So why don't you take that out of Roscoe's ass, or Roscoe and Nicholas's ass, because it's Nicholas's fault we were in that location. for why you owed her the favor, or she owed you the favor. What?
Nicholas causes all sorts of problems for me. And like
Yes.
she like looks down, she like thinks for a little bit. She's like, wait a second. Where did Samantha's body go?
Nicholas took it to destinations unknown, which means it's a coin flip if he ate it. So
that's very poor timing.
Why?
So I've been working to basically make Nicholas's unlife hell. And so the most recent bit of this is today his business has shut down due to zoning issues. You may not hear from him for a little bit while he has to deal with that. I just hope Samantha's was taken care of before that happened.
I'm sure he's got discreet ways of doing it, I've been told. I mean, I've seen him just get rid of a body in a couple different ways, and the only reason I said it was a coin flip if he ate it was because I've seen that as one of the ways. So, yeah. I mean, just have to find out.
Huh. That's good to know, though.
Yeah.
Could cause problems from down the road. He did take care of it. We have some evidence that he took care of it, but maybe he's smart for once and got rid of that.
It's Nicholas. How smart do you think he could be?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I give him a hard time. Okay, I was going to say he's a good guy. He was a good guy at one point, and in Chicago, he's kind of a creep. But, everyone has to have a hobby.
You didn't react as much as, like, I expected you to shutting him down. Like, I expected something, a comment. Kind of disappointed. Did I not? Should I do more?
I mean, no offense, Isabella, but if there's one thing I aim to not do, it is come between a Toreador and her fun. And you seem to be having fun, so why would I get in your fucking way? Why would I comment negatively towards that?
I never said negative.
Okay, well,
part of the show is the shock factor.
Okay, I guess as a landowner, property owner, it's I understand what a pain in the ass it is when you have some sort of like zoning or licensure or whatever kind of stuff pop up. So I feel bad for him in that regard, but at the same time, based on the fact that like you and Jackie both have issues with him, I'm kind of like, oh well, let's watch the fun transpire. Then again, going to like a zoning board meeting and having to pay your fine isn't necessarily the most entertaining thing to most people, but I will gladly show up to that zoning board meeting, or send one of my ghouls at least, with a bag of popcorn and sit in the back and like ha ha as he does his thing. So
I know it's not the most glamorous thing, but you gotta start small.
And
then you build to the very big things.
It's great. It's honestly super smart. I never thought of it's not true. Using someone's business or property against them is one of those things that like people don't think about. So it's great to see.
Wait, so speaking of like property and stuff, what happened at Jackie's place the other night too? Like I got that text.
It happened at Jackie's place?
She told us to like show up.
Oh, right. Sorry. That was such a snooze fest. So Alessandro de Familia Giovanni, whatever the pretentious circle jerk name. He was there in Jackie's building because he was checking on Zal. apparently, so the crazy thing is that I think we all thought we were going to have to kill him. No, he walked out of there because
That's
apparently
surprising.
he's being hunted by somebody, and we pretty sure it's the madam because Izzy like morphed out of a fucking elevator and was all like, ha 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 ha, you're gonna die. And yeah.
Huh.
So
You get a chill all the way up your spine, Isabella.
Is that all? Like, has anything else happened with it?
Nope, but it is a chill that you recognize as every time you've had it as a ghost has been touching you in some way.
Do you know why the madam wants him dead? Them, I guess. All of them?
he said something about like he won't be the last and he won't be the first or so. Basically, it sounds like the Giovanni are trying to figure out who killed the Giovanni that were in the city, because that happened before I got here. And he's like investigating it, and Zal was bait, but Zal was actually, the way he explained it is she had like basically been locked inside of her own head of her own volition. Like they made a deal and she locked herself in her head. I don't know. It's one of those things that just, it goes over my head, but yeah. So he's basically just trying to figure out, and I guess he thinks he knows it's the madam now, but then like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is some of that, you know, Hakata on Hakata stuff that has been going on for a long time, according to Nicholas. So
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Nicholas let him live.
I'm not surprised.
Really?
No, Nicholas is a chicken shit.
Huh. Do you have his contact information?
Who? Alessandro Giovanni?
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. I don't, but Jackie does. He gave her a business card. I didn't ask for one because I don't know. I mean, is this more of the like get Nicholas? Because if it is, like, girl,
Maybe just a business deal.
that is perfectly fine too. You know what? I'll allow it.
You know what?
Not that I'm your mother.
It could also be both. Let's be honest.
That's the answer we were all hoping for, and the crowd goes fucking wild. It's a lot more fun being fun Jenny than it is being like stick in the mud Jenny. So
I told you. And you denied it. You were in denial for so long, and now you finally let loose.
Nah. No.
I have an idea.
Oh yeah.
We should go to Azule's.
Your
And
ideas.
then maybe you'll run into Corey after the Azuli special.
Oh my God. You're okay. No offense, Isabel. It's not an idea when every time it's let's go to the House of Lilith and get fucking drunk.
That's always my idea. It's just like it's the best thing. Like, what else are we gonna do in Chicago, Jenny? As you've said, there's nothing here.
Nailed it.
Would you rather do something else for girls' night? I mean, we've gossiped.
I know we gossiped, and I have been dragging Nicholas and the Tremere through the mud for the last, like, I don't know, 2 hours. So
If you don't want to go to the House of Lilith, where do you want to go?
we can do that. That's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna bust your ass about it a little bit.
So Isabella will get up with like the captain's hat still on. Like, she's clearly still dressed to go out, but she's just wearing the captain's hat.
Okay.
And then she like gets puts her arm like through Jenny's and be like, okay, let's go. No more
All
debate.
right. You know what? I think we need to stop somewhere though. We need to get like cigar vests and Afghans to go with the hat.
I mean, see what Emilio has?
I mean, look, let's raid someone's closet and let's go have some fucking fun. Maybe we can buy a boat tonight.
I spent a lot of other money recently. You can buy the boat.
I'll buy a boat.
I'll captain it.
Deal.
So the two of you set out into the night to find cigar jackets and possibly Jenny to buy a boat, which I have a mental image of her walking up on a dock, seeing somebody at their boat and saying, I'm buying your boat, and just giving him money until he gives her the boat after the Azule special. And right here, everybody, we're going to go to break. It's been a fun first half, which I think everyone here needed after the events of the last 2 weeks. So I will see you all in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. She really is your black Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Aja Black Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within, to your burrow within. Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, I had some interesting scenes. Jackie had a heart-to-heart with Roscoe and his grief, which was interrupted, of course, by Tracy, played by the wonderful Junie, who came in. And then Jenny spoke with Tasha, had an enlightening conversation about what Tasha may want to do. Jenny gave her kind of a choice. And then Jenny and Isabella, well, they had a talking and a night out on the town, the details of which, I guess, is up to Isabella or Jenny to share. But as we open up this second half, Jackie is stopping by Isabella's brew pub because Isabella asked her to stop in on her way about her business tonight. And I'm going to turn it over to Jackie and Isabella as Jackie, you recognize as one of Isabella's doormen, but it's not Emilio. You don't know where Emilio is tonight.
Oh, well, Jackie knows the routine. You newly embrace a child or you don't let them see daylight, basically, until they're ready. Yes. She walks in. Good evening. Is she back in her office?
Yes. She's expecting you. Just go on back.
Thank you.
You know the way.
Yes. And she goes back and knocks on the door. Isabella?
Oh, come on in.
And she opens the door. You wanted me to stop by? And she closes the door. And
I had some information for you, and I wanted to get something from you.
Oh,
Potentially.
okay.
I'll start with how it benefits you first, though. I mean,
Oh, go for it.
So, my contacts in Milwaukee did relay some information that I thought you might find interesting. Remember Akawa?
Yes.
He's missing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No one has any idea what happened. It's caused quite the stir since he was a Decker second in command.
I bet. Very interesting.
Sounds like Maxwell might be keeping good on his promise.
Possibly. Or one of my people got to him.
I didn't realize you had plans in motion to already get rid of them.
Oh, yes, because you see, Akawa's been doing deals with Keisha.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So I put that bug in certain people's ears. So, but we'll see. We'll see who might have had a hand in it.
I mean, at the end of the day, does it really matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't, as long as the job gets done. So, anything else interesting?
That's all I really had. I will say that I heard you had an interesting evening a few nights ago. Sorry I had to miss.
Oh, it's all right. First, I'd asked everyone to come over because Olsaya had showed up looking for her. I wasn't sure how exactly it was going to go down. But come to find out, basically, he was set up by the madam. And I'm not her pawn. So I'm not going to do her dirty work.
Are you going to do anything about it? I mean,
I sent him a bill for his child squatting in my condo.
I guess I meant more than madam.
Honestly, I'm not too concerned about him. There's other things after him, so.
Oh, I just meant with the madam using you, period.
Oh.
I know that you don't like to be used.
It's fine.
Part of the game.
Yeah, other than she didn't get what she wanted out of me, obviously. So it's fine. Also, be careful with your spirit companion. That one has gone full spectre.
You do still have that chill, Isabella.
You'll have to key me in on what exactly that means. I don't know.
It means she has lost the battle with her shadow.
Oh. I can't say I'm surprised.
Neither am I.
Was she there? How did you know that?
Yeah, she showed up to pass a message on to Mr. Giovanni. That basically, whomever the madam is working with is going to hunt him down.
That's fair. I was hoping to use him.
Well, here, if you need his card.
Thank you. That's actually what I was going to ask you for.
If you can, go for it. I personally don't care what happens to him.
AZ is involved with my plans for using him in general, so I mean, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Just be careful with that one.
I mean, kind of stuck with it.
Indeed.
Do you need anything from me, by the way? I know you have a lot on your plate.
No, it was very helpful, though, the information you got from your contacts. I'll look into that further and advise you what I find out.
I'll let you know if I hear anything else.
I appreciate that.
It's been a little on, well, not the quiet side. It's just the same thing of dealing with the wolves.
Yeah. How are things going with Sovereign?
Good. Great. Just making other deals. I learned that Nick is potentially having problems with his place of business. Did not intend that would impact Samantha, but...
Oh, did Jenny tell you about Samantha?
She did.
Okay. That was unfortunate. She was... The mask that was her avatar corrupted. Tried to take possession of her. And it was destroyed. The other mage there, Mr. Crown, he destroyed it. But she was absolutely suicidal. So Roscoe basically put her out of her misery.
That was what she really wanted.
She wanted either him to embrace her or to kill her. And Roscoe sees this existence as a curse. I don't think he will ever embrace anyone.
I hope she didn't prefer that option over death then.
She seemed pleased. I was there. She smiled at him as she died.
Guess if anyone's gonna do it, The one you love.
I suppose. I'm personally glad I'm still around kicking.
I mean, me too, obviously. As I was thinking about that, like the one you love, like with my once husband did, I was like, oh, well, like that's weird because like wasn't love there, but supposed to be love, but ended up killing me. Trying to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy was an asshole. God bless.
You're telling me.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're busy.
Yes, I'm actually going over to Harry's place. Have to discuss some things with him, but maybe he knows something about Okoa.
Maybe. I don't know.
We will see. But you have a lovely evening.
Of course, let me know if you do think of anything you need from me. Here
Of
to help
course.
you out.
Of course, I appreciate it.
Jackie goes to leave the brew pub. And as Jackie goes, she heads over to the Gazelle, Harry North's place. Jackie got a membership along with Isabella and Jenny. All three actually have memberships now. So it's no problem getting in. Now you go to the main one inside the loop where you know Harry is. That's where he spends most of his time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come in, he's walking the place tonight. He's got suit pants on, but he's got a purple vest over a black shirt as he is making the rounds of the place. And he notices you pretty quick as you come in. He beelines over to you. Jacqueline, how are you doing tonight?
I am wonderful, Harry. How are you?
I didn't know it was date night. I'm dressed for it, but...
You have to ask me on a date first.
Oh, that's right. Well, I thought about it, but I've heard some rumors about you and Dredd, and there's a picture that was involved, and
that was literally a message to certain individuals. That's all that was.
You know what they say.
I don't see a wedding ring.
I'm just going by. I think it was the Joker. He said that you never rub another man's rhubarb. Or in this case, never rub a Ventrue's rhubarb?
Whatever. It's fine. Most people are terrified of trying to date me anyway.
I don't know why they would be terrified of that. You're a beautiful woman. I'm sure you're Ventru in a city run by Ventrus.
That would be why.
And you have a reputation for people disappearing when they disagree with you too publicly. Nothing, I'm sure.
I guarantee there's nothing that ties that back to me.
Rumors. I've heard the craziest rumors. I even heard one, something about Capone. Rumor, of course. I'm sure it's not, it's not real.
Well, so business is booming.
Well, business is always booming. The clientele that comes here, they don't really get hit by recessions. They don't get hit by a downturn in the economy. They cause downturns in the economy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about office, corner booth? It's up to you. Where you want to?
Let's go to your office.
Okay, we can do that. And as he's walking to you towards his office, he keeps having to stop at a table and lean down and say something to the people there. Sometimes he motions somebody to come over to refill a drink. But eventually you make it to his office, and he gets back behind his desk that is extremely neat. And he kicks back. So, what can I do for you tonight?
Well, you seem to have an ear for rumors, and I am wondering what other rumors you might have heard.
It depends on the subject you're looking for. I've heard all kinds of little bits and pieces. Some very subtle attempts to feel out possible praxis bids.
Oh, yes, that I know about.
It's funny, they don't really ask me.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is. I've sworn off the politics game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't that lucky.
Well, I mean, not all of us can afford to swear it off.
No, really can't. So I just use it to my advantage. But wondering if you've heard any whispers coming out of Milwaukee.
Now, that's an interesting question. A very interesting question. What's it worth to you? We have a business arrangement and all, but...
We do. What do you want for it? You tell me what you want, and I'll tell you if I can accommodate.
I want you to put on a show at your main club, Club Confession. I want to have some of my girls there as we're going to call it a advertisement. I know you have, most of your crowd, of course, can't afford the membership. You have a few, but the important part about an exclusive membership is it does no good if people don't realize how exclusive it is. Those who pay for these memberships likes the status that comes with it.
Indeed. I believe that can be arranged.
That'll work well. That'll help remind my customers why they pay my, frankly, highway robbery kind of fees for the place.
Indeed it is.
Well, you know what?
I pay for the privilege to come and see you, darling.
Well, I've learned a long time ago. If you're going to rob somebody, you need to really rob them in a blatant way.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't seem to be so upset about it. I don't know why.
Because they figure you're at least honest about it.
Well, I'm hoping that's it. I doubt it's my own charm. So, out of Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure I know what you're asking about. Somebody's gone missing.
It's what I heard.
Yeah, it's thrown a monkey wrench into some situations up there. I don't know how much you're aware of what's going on.
Try me.
The lupine had been uppity,
Yes.
which meant the Anubis were fighting back. Decker's running his city. Well, if you call what he does running it, which means a lot of what he does for the Anubis is delegated to his number 2.
Right.
That seems to throw plans for a loop when
The number 2 goes missing.
the number 2 is gone. Now, some people think Lupine got him. Doubtful.
Doubtful.
They hadn't gotten him yet.
Exactly.
Others think he ran off with that girl that some kindred he'd been messing around with.
Is she missing as well?
No, that's why I don't think that's true either.
That doesn't pan out.
And this is pure speculation. Akawa does have a few Tremere that are somewhat loyal to him. If they can't find him either, I don't think he's missing.
He's been destroyed.
Yeah, I think he's gone on to the great Kansas song in the sky. He dust in the wind now. Now, I don't know who's bold enough to take him on. He's no slouch. And bold enough to do it and not talk about it. I know if the Anarchs went after him.
Oh, they would run their mouths about it.
Oh, yes. They had a bone to pick with him anyway for turning traitor, supporting Decker in the first place. So whoever did it knows how to keep quiet. Which leads me to my theory.
What's that?
There's a certain mercenary been seen around Chicago. He was actually dancing with you one night.
Oh, indeed.
And is no longer in the city. I don't know where he went. But I do know that individual has a history of quiet disappearances for people.
The Viscount is an interesting individual.
Interesting. I'll go with that. He's certainly deadly.
And he's a stickler for the letters of his contract.
That he is. He's also... Don't understand why he doesn't get... run out of every city he shows up in. Wonder how many favors he's owed to keep that over from coming down on his head.
Oh, I'm sure quite a lot. He's very useful.
Yeah, well, you don't like when he shows up in the city and then disappears, and nobody knows why he was in the city in the first place.
Mm,
Oh, I guess that means you know why he was in the city in the first place.
I do.
I don't want to know. The less I know about him,
Exactly.
the better. Because he does not have a membership here, and I'm going to keep that way.
Yes. No, he wasn't here on business, as it were. He was just here to relay something.
Ah, that's good.
Yes.
There's been an awful lot of kindred that went missing over the past year or two. It's good to know he wasn't behind it.
No, as far as I'm aware, he was not. So.
Well, that's, like I said, that's good info to know.
Yes.
Did you like the video I had sent over? Of Alexa being bounced on her ass.
Yes. I watched it and laughed.
Told you we had the security cam footage. She still eyeballs me every time I'm over in Elysia.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I make sure to bring it up. Look, I understand she's Scourge, but there's limits. Well, I say there's limits. She could take me out if she wanted to try. I just don't think she's willing to, because that's how a Scourge loses their position. I've done nothing that should get me destroyed, in her eyes, at least. I mean, you can ask some others around here. I'm sure somebody has a reason I should be destroyed. It's always something. It was that weekend in Madrid, as they like to say.
Have you ever been there?
Madrid? No.
You should once.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Try not to go that far away. I spend most of my time in the good old US of A.
Mm.
Although I did have to get out of Texas because, well, Texas. I think that explains enough. That's why I came back to Chicago. Got my business done and said, I'm done. It's Texas.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, is there anything I can do for you, Harry?
Well, other than that.
Oh, I know that, but that's for the information.
I'm trying to think of what I have on my plate at the moment. I mean, you could pass a message on.
To
your friend Isabella.
Oh.
Genghis keeps coming in here looking for her. He says he's not, but he always seems to work the conversation back to, when's the last time she come through and used her membership? Tell her call the guy or something, or, let him down easy. Or let him down hard. Hell, that might work too.
He is such a masochist.
He is.
Oh.
He always starts messing with the Toreadors. I don't know why.
Because he knows what he's getting into and he enjoys it.
Yeah, not my style.
No.
It's just not. I've been a plaything too many times in my life, and that's a cat's paw I don't want to be under again.
I don't blame you. Truly.
Yeah. That you do everything once. Once was enough. Once a king, always a king. Once a night, it gets sore after a while.
It does. It does. Unless you have the, stamina for it. And she just grins and gets up. You have a lovely evening, Harry.
I don't even know how to end with that kind of a statement. Damn. Damn, woman, you're not leaving, are you? Just stay and hang out for a bit.
I'll hang out for a bit.
Perfect. Maybe Nero will show up and we can throw peanuts at him later.
That would be fun.
We'll get that on video too. We ejected Alexa and we can get us on video of throwing peanuts at Nero. Personally, I don't even think he'd notice.
He probably wouldn't.
So, if we're lucky.
Jackie walks out and goes.
And he gets up and
drink.
and heads out into the place with you. But it's hard for him to set with you long. He keeps having to get up and do the rounds of the place because he's the owner. And Jackie spends the night hanging with Harry North. We're going to flash over to Roscoe. Roscoe, you're driving around town looking for somebody, aren't you?
Yes, I am. It's part of my routine these days is looking for Bartleby.
And something to keep your mind off of
Right.
other events. And as you're riding around, you find the path. Again, you find it all the time. It always heads to a different source of running water. But tonight, where you're driving around, you found it quite strong. He's not been long since he's been through here.
Okay.
And as you drive in your truck around town, you catch the line entering water. But you just happen, you're in a car, somebody on foot's much slower. You see a figure leaving the water on the other side of the river.
Okay.
But the line doesn't follow him anymore because he broke it through the river.
Right.
It's obviously Bartleby. You can tell by his portly waddle as he comes out of the water. He's drenched, of course. But he's there, coming out of the water, crawling out of the water to be exact.
Okay. He doesn't know my new truck, so
I would assume not.
okay. And Reese, I will best I can tail him to see where he's headed to.
Okay, you're going to have to give me, because you're going to have to get across the river with your truck, which means you're going to have to go around and try to catch him walking around. So let's go with intelligence streetwise.
Okay.
Can't do a whole session with no rolling. Come on. You got 3? You going to do any more with that, or is that good?
Yeah. No, I'm going to willpower that.
Okay. Roll real quick, see what I get on my end. See how good he is at stealth, right? You got 4 successes. He also got 4, but tie goes in your favor as the player. So, as you're coming back, you almost missed him. Almost. But you catch him going into, it's a townhouse. One of the old style brick front row houses.
Okay.
As he goes up inside the building.
Okay. Is there anything else? Many other buildings around it or connected to it that he might?
Second from the end. So there's buildings on either side of it.
Okay.
But it's a row house. It's possible he may have an underground entrance there or not.
At least I know where he goes after breaking the trail. Now,
Well, you got ways to check it anyway.
I do. And I think I'll make use of them.
We'll roll from my end. You're going to clairvoyance to see if you can search him out.
Right.
So let's see how you do with clairvoyance, which is, let me pull it up so I have it here because I like to see it as a reference. Intelligence, all specs. Wow, 7 successes.
With a crit.
With a crit. Okay. He got 2 to sense you. So he doesn't even sense that you're doing it. 7, this is an unfamiliar place, but you know generally where you're looking. I'll give you a margin of 3 for 3 questions.
Okay. Is Bartleby still in the same building that he went into?
As you sweep your supernatural senses out of your body and into the building, you find him in the basement of that row house. Talking, it's a person. The person doesn't look very well. Their skin is got a greenish tinge to it, almost like they're sick or slightly necrotic skin. And Bartleby is talking about command me tongue as this guy is saying gibberish to him.
Okay. What's the person that he's talking to? Is this a Nos? Is it kindred?
It
Kind?
is obviously, it appears human to you. A sickness seems to radiate out from his mouth. The closer it is to the mouth, the more unwell and unhealthy the skin looks.
Okay.
I will let you use the last question if you wish to know about what kind of tongue this guy has.
I do. That's what I would like
It
to know.
is a shriveled, blackened stump.
Would I think that, well, I don't know if I can ask at this point. Do I think this is the donor of the tongue that Bartleby is using?
Well, Bartleby does not have the tongue in his mouth the last time you saw him. So this may be the one who is using the tongue for Bartleby now.
Okay.
You can't make a sense of any of the things. Bartleby's having a conversation with this individual. You can't make sense of any of the words being spoken, though.
Okay.
Bartleby seems to understand, though. He seems to understand it quite well.
Well, while he's engaged in the conversation, I'll pull out the little stone that I have.
Okay.
And crush it.
So you pull the stone out, and crush it, and maintain your vigil on the place.
Mm-hmm.
About 20 minutes pass before you hear it hit. There's a loud kind of a stone impact sound. But you don't see him. And then you feel something tap you, or tap your window of your truck, actually. And there's a man standing there.
Okay.
Looks like
man,
you.
I reckon. Ah, okay. So I roll the window down. Say, well, hey, Roscoe.
No.
Oh,
yes,
it's not
you're
me.
Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Oh, okay. I'm Dave now. Okay.
It's kind of public. I can't look like myself right now.
Understood.
These modern nights suck. I miss the old days. I could show up and inspire fear and terror and watch the populace run, and it didn't accomplish much, but it was fun. So you
Well,
broke it. What do you got for me?
Well, and I kind of look over towards it and I point out the townhouse. Mr. Bartleby is over there, and looks like he's talking to somebody.
Are you sure he's in there?
Yes, I just verified it, and I'm kind of watching it now, as a matter of fact. He's got a guest, or he went to see someone. Something. He's definitely affected by something. He's got that greenish, sickly cast to him, like a burnt, shriveled thing for a tongue.
He's got the tongue.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It rots you from the inside. That vessel will expire within about 6 months, and you'll have to get a new one. And then a new one. And a new one. It's a messy process. Not as messy as what I'm about to go do, but messy.
Well, they seem to be engaged in a spirited conversation. And they're down in the basement.
If you could walk through stone and like it was water, can you imagine what you can do to a building?
I get what you're saying.
I think it's time for some demolition tonight.
Okay.
Do you wish to? Well, damn, no. you'll get crushed. I was going to invite you to watch. I guess you can stay out here and watch.
Yep, I'll get to watch it from here.
And Dave looks at you and smiles and then sinks into the ground under you, or under the, right past, he's looking in the window and his head just slowly sinks down. For someone worried about someone seeing him,
Right.
he apparently is only paying lip service to that discussion. Who's going to believe somebody sank into the ground like that, right?
Right, yeah.
And he disappears into the concrete. And then there's nothing for about 5 minutes. And then you hear the groan of the building and the sound of stone breaking. And then you see the above ground, all 3 floors. It's a row house. It breaks free of the 2 houses beside it and falls in on itself. Breaks and just collapses. Dust is everywhere. Stone is everywhere. People, you see them filing out from the buildings to either side of it because those buildings did not collapse, even though this one did. And then there's nothing for about 5 minutes. And then you hear from across the street, or not across the street, the alley not far from you, sorry. Because across the street's all the people staring at this building going, hey, psst, psst, psst.
What? I look over.
And you're standing in the alley just motioning your finger to come see him.
Okay, I'll go over.
And you're standing there. And
Hey.
you're holding it's a wiggling, writhing, it's a blackened tongue, but it seems to have a mind of its own as it's wriggling, trying to break free of your grasp. Well, Dave's grasp, technically.
Right.
There's the real fun part about being able to move through stone is when you collapse a building, it's really easy to retrieve what's in the building just by flowing back through it, grabbing it out.
I can see that.
Yeah, there's subtlety to it all. You want it? I'm joking,
Thanks, no.
Joking.
Thanks, no. No thanks.
Yeah.
What exactly does that do, anyway?
How much do you want to know?
Well, everything, obviously.
Oh. It is all that's left of a very, very, very old kindred. Do you remember almost 25 years ago? The news reports it said where the day turned to night, or the night turned to day for a brief time over out east.
Yes.
People claim the sun came out during the midnight. This is what's left of what they were fighting. It's all that's left.
Still seems to have a mind of its own.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's very much unalive. Certain things can't be destroyed as easy as us youngins can.
What exactly does it do for the unfortunate who gets to host it?
It corrupts them. It talks to them. It whispers secrets, divulges its knowledge, and drives them insane. Destroys the body they're in. It's not something that should have been, well, it shouldn't have been in Milwaukee in the first damn place. I have a place I'll put it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not something to play with. Though it is kind of amusing. And he holds it up again and it's still wiggling. I will make sure that Victor knows You were instrumental in this.
I am, of course, glad to be of service.
That's what I was left here to watch, to make sure you're being a good boy. Does the leash chafe?
Somewhat.
It did me as well, and I will give you this advice. Leashes come, leashes go, but eventually they always break. Mine did. Now I choose who I work with. If you live long enough, one day you will too. I'll see you around.
All right.
I do think maybe we should go have some fun down in the pit again. I do miss the stark terror that I used to get to inflict on people. I think it has to do with how I was made.
Well, I'm sure they need reminders from time to time.
Oh,
So that
I would love to pop one's head off.
no complaints.
I will see you around, Mr. Akers.
All right, Dave.
And then he jumps, and it's no longer you because your mind will not believe that.
Mhm.
As he jumps up, and you see this gargoyle shoot up into the sky, still holding the wiggling tongue. Now what's Roscoe doing?
Well, I guess he looks over at the building, and he supposes that Bartleby is destroyed as well.
The whole building was dropped on their head. I'm pretty sure Dave would have made sure that everything was crushed to death under that pile.
Okay, well, he part of his other nightly routine is not needed anymore since Jackie doesn't need the surveillance on the condo. So he'll go back to his haven.
And as you pull away, the police are showing up, fire is showing up, EMS is showing up, all of them to attempt a rescue because they don't know if anybody was in there or not.
Hmm.
It's funny how the two buildings beside it are perfectly intact, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's going to make the news. Structural engineers will talk about it for months. As you head back, you doing anything else before we move to the next scene?
No.
Okay. Then we're flashing to Jenny, who is just pulled up in front of the House of Lilith.
Yeah, Jenny is going to try to just get in as quick as she can because she doesn't want the door person to be like, oh boy, repeat customer or whatever.
Well, as you're going in, Tiny, that's who's on the door tonight, a massive woman. Not in terms of weight. She's tall, broad, and obviously lifts weights because she's as jacked as can be. But everyone calls her Tiny. She just smiles and winks at you as you go by.
Jenny just gives her the courteous nod and a nice gains as she goes by.
And as you go in the door, you hear her whistling at you as you were walking past.
Not tonight, Tiny. You couldn't bench this if you wanted to.
I can try.
Wait. Yeah. We all have to
if
dream.
I have to have a spotter, it makes it more fun.
Keep dreaming, and she just keeps on trucking. So.
And as you go in, the place is not as busy as normal. It's a slower night. There's good nights, bad nights. And Urzule is sitting in the corner with Adzi, who is not even bothering to hide what he is. And you see the two of them it's obvious they're talking, but it must not be important because half the time she's looking around, half the time she's speaking to him, half the time it almost seems like she's not really listening.
Oof. Jenny's going to kind of slowly go their direction, but not like beeline it, because she doesn't want it to be like interrupt, as it were. So she wants to either see if they'll wave at her. If they do, she'll go over. They don't, she'll like just sit down somewhere.
As you get closer, Urzule sees you, smiles, and just waves you over.
Awesome. So Jenny gives her a smile and just keeps on heading that way then.
And when you come to the table, Adzi stands up, gets up, and pulls your chair out.
Oh, thank you. Very gentlemanly.
This is her place, not mine. So I show proper respect for her guests.
Ah.
And he turns and sits back down where he was.
After Jenny takes a seat, she's just like, hopefully I wasn't interrupting anything.
No. Urzule and I were discussing plans. Urzule's like, yes, we have a big party coming up that we have to make sure we have everything in it all lined up for.
Awesome. Parties are always fun. Also, thank you for being so accommodating that we always seem to blow in and blow out after getting. Yeah.
Your friend really likes my drink, doesn't she?
Yeah. Literally, I visit her and she's just like, so we're gonna go to Urzule's, and I'm just like, we could do some other things, but I'm trying to make sure she has fun because she's got a lot on her mind. So
in life we all have a field we have to tend, right?
Yeah. No, she's a good good egg, as that some of the people say, but at the same time, yeah.
Have you thought of bringing her into the fold?
Yes and no. I think, just my own personal opinion as someone who has been around a lot of let's say individuals who have trouble dealing with their vice. I don't know if she would get the most out of it, but I mean, I'm always willing to bridge that if that's something you think would be worth it.
Adzi just and Urzule goes, we're very good at vices. You indulge the vice, you push them to the limit until they come out the other side of their vice. That is the best way. That is the way you're taught to deal with things. It's through that tough journey, that road, that she'll learn who she is in her own strength. What better reason to bring her into the fold?
The thing, she knows what some of her strength is, though, and some of it is just that unadulterated, petty revenge, which is fabulous to watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm just, yeah. I'll talk to her about it. So
your choice. It's just a little something to consider.
Oh no. I get you. I wanted to pass along some more information. I apologize for dropping like the little nuggets that night when we were all in here. So
I get it. You can only say so much in front of your friends, and only so much. You don't want to give me false info, and you don't want to lead me too far astray.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm not probably the best congregant, as it were, but I at least wanted to give you forewarning because, well, I care about you in my own way, and I appreciate what you're doing here. So I wanted to let you have that forewarning. So
we all serve the mother in our own ways to our own capabilities.
Yeah.
To ask for more than that is to ask water to come out of the rock.
I mean, that's just more of a plumbing issue, but that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I'm making jokes. I apologize.
And Adzi laughs at that for some reason, though you don't know why.
Last night was a little wild, and there was some intense boating, so I'm kind of trying to work some of that out of my system right now.
And Adzi laughs even harder at boating.
Okay.
And
okay.
Urzule smacks him and she grins. He's being a perv tonight. He's in that mood.
Oh,
I think he's been sipping some of my special again and just didn't tell me.
See, my brain just completely, and now I get it. I should be more careful of my phrasing. So
I don't mind him. He means well.
Oh no, I think it's great. No, I wanted to let you know that what was it? As a favor, Jackie was tasked with putting a symbol on a building, or on Edith's building, and it was supposed to make it so that her like vermin watchers have either a harder time, or that they kind of move on or something. I wasn't sure.
Leans way forward at that.
Hmm?
Adzi leans way forward at that statement. Now you've gotten his interest. So her watchers are not watching.
That's supposed to be what it was supposed to do. I haven't been by to verify, so I probably should have done that, but I'm trying to make my face not be a super common one around her place. So,
and you see her reach her hand out, and she touches the back of Adzi's hand, and you see her fingers tapping. You're not sure what she's doing, and he just nods as if as a response to whatever she was doing, and he sits back and closes his eyes, and you see him just kind of go slack in the booth. That's very useful information. We will definitely use that tonight.
Well, as long as you guys are safe, and again, as always, like, I'll help how I can, but I will be honest, I am a bit wary of her potential benefactor that lives out in the cemetery, since that's who I was warned to be worried of more than her. I don't know. Yeah. So
we wouldn't take direct action against her. She has friends in odd places. But there's things you can do without taking direct action.
That's one I'm being reminded of that in Chicago. So
I just need a little something. We just need to make sure that their watchers don't see ours. And then we can make our plans.
Well, like I said, I'm glad I could share that information, that it was actually useful, so that it wasn't just, like the other piece of information, which was, again, I'm sure useful, but that was probably more pleasure than business, as it were.
Look,
so
I do love every time you come. I don't care if you come to visit me and just drink the drink. I don't care if you just come to watch the show. I don't care if you bring your friends. Even Roscoe seemed to loosen up a bit, which was quite interesting, because every time I've seen him in Elysia, he is uptight.
Oh, yeah. I think Tremere get embraced, and they have them hold like a stick between their butt cheeks, and if that loosens during the embrace, they kill him. That's what I was told by somebody, though. So
that would explain a few things I've seen in this city.
Yeah,
but it's good to see him let loose. He seems like he's one who could be properly trained.
Yeah.
And I say trained joking, of course. It's not about training. It's about them just recognizing the systemic injustice and understanding. It's always hard.
Oh yeah. No, Roscoe's not a bad guy. He's just trying to like understand the world. He's got that sense of someone who was, kept inside for a long time. So
I've met the kind many a times.
I don't know. He's probably, I don't know. Oh, he's one of those. I will have to see. He might come through again because like he's going through some stuff right now, and I told him we'd go dancing, so I might bring him through soon, and then we're gonna go dancing.
Well, bring him here. I'll make sure that he gets an extra special dose of my cocktail.
Awesome. Yeah, he recently lost somebody, and so he's deep in his feelings.
Normally when they bring it out, it is watered down compared to the full strength of what we brew. Yes, that's
Damn.
watered down, dear.
All right. Yeah, I believe you. It's smart. You always want to cut your product. So,
Well, it's not easy to make. It tires those who make it, so it works best. We cut it with a little alcohol. Thankfully, it holds up the suspension. Since alcohol is involved in its making, it seems to not have the effect it normally would on blood. They're quite ingenious, these thin bloods, as they're called.
oh yeah, I've heard that they can do some really interesting stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily hate them. I know they're not, sorry, hate is a strong word. They're not viewed very kindly by a lot of people in power.
Fools.
But
Every one of them are fools. It's the same as everything we've seen. They always want to cast them out and keep them out, when you should embrace them, bring them into the fold. If they would just treat them with respect, they would be as loyal, hell, probably more loyal than most of our kind.
yeah, I think it's the established order of things. I was talking to my ghoul the other night, and she was talking about the hierarchy, the structure.
Yes.
So I think it's
yes.
it's that structure of the whole thing, and they just can't allow for anything that deviates from it. So
This system seems built around the fact that there has to be someone lesser, or else the whole thing falls apart. I think if you have to make people lesser to keep it going, perhaps it deserves to fall apart.
I mean, come on, that's what the gangrel and the Bruja, that's what we're here for. No, I kid.
Well,
sort of.
you're called in the same situation as the Thin Bloods. Well, not the same. You are at least not destroyed out of hand on a whim.
Thankfully.
There is a lot of similarities, though, I've found between your clan and them. They have to band together in packs for survival, much like in these modern nights many gangrel have had to do.
Well, I don't necessarily have well, that's a lie. I'm finding my pack, as it were. So
You always have a home here.
appreciate that.
And I'm sure I can count on you if we need any assistance with Edith's building. Non-direct confrontation, of course. We can't have certain individuals in the city come after us for unsanctioned wars, but if someone was needed to help with some accidents, I'm sure you'd be willing to assist.
Oh yeah, just let me know what you need. I'll help you how I can.
Want to crash a plane into the building? I'm joking.
I mean,
Kind of.
Look, I've got access to planes. Don't have access to boats, planes, trains. Yeah, I've got access to automobiles. So I mean, we got a wide variety of things here. So I know now you're just thinking like, holy shit, this bitch is crazy.
No, I'm thinking of plans.
Oh, see, the great thing is you stage it right, and you have insurance on those property pieces, and you don't lose a thing. So you just upgrade to a newer model.
That's what I have Adzi for. He's got a much better head for the business side of things. I'm the personality and charm. Unfortunately, my dear man here does not have any of that.
Yeah, I think his personality is great the way it is.
Well,
I mean, other than the fact that I was slow in the uptake. But still, some of, the fact that he was laughing at what I was saying made me feel good. So he's got some personality
he's a cad
there.
Some nights. Incorrigible. That's probably why I keep him around, to be honest.
Hey, we all need somebody who laughs with us occasionally. So,
and once in a while, we need someone who is willing to laugh at us. I've found the surest way to make sure you're on the right track is to have somebody who's willing to laugh when you come up with a silly idea.
See, whenever I come up with a silly idea, Jackie's just like, "That's great, but this is better." And so I'm like, "Okay, no."
Ventru got a Ventru, right?
Indeed. No, she's wonderful. I'm more of the like broad ideas person to a degree. So that's why I pay so many people to do different things for me, because I don't want to have to deal with it. So
I'm used to that. Gardner Stewart is much the same. She does the same thing. And we all serve in the way we can, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to take any more of your evening, so.
Well, I'll come sit with you a bit. He's going to be busy for a little while. He will let me know when he's returned.
All right.
And she gets up and goes and sits with you and talks the night away. And as we close on your scene with Azule, this right here, everybody, is where we're going to end. Season 10, Episode 7. Wow. 3 more left this season, people. 3 more. And I'd like to thank my players and the viewers. And a special thanks to our guest player that was here tonight, Junie, who was playing Tracy Graves, who was amazing as always. And as we go into our outro, our new trying to be a bridge, trying to not take forever doing our outro, join us on our Discord. We cast this show and other shows from the Discord. At the time of this airing, we just closed a casting call for a Star Wars game run by Ravenous Archon. So you missed out on that. If you were in a Discord, you could have applied to it. But don't worry, we have other shows open up as we come up with streaming ideas. If you want to catch our back episodes, pop over to YouTube. Right over here, got a whole list of them. If you want to catch our Call of Cthulhu stream or our old D&D stream, go over to Ishville. That's where Tiss stores her stuff. If you want to catch some amazing content creators like Mischievous Red and Ivy Raven, I even pointed the correct direction this time. And even Junie, who was here tonight, the RPG table. They're all in our friends list. Pop over to the channels, give them some McStabber love, because everyone needs a little stabbing love. It's a brand thing for us at this point. Just give some stabbings. Consensual stabbing. Just going to say that. You want to get our merch? Get the Windy City merch. Pop over to the merch store. Sign in when you go to the merch store, because some of the things are not listed unless you're signed in because they're 18 or over. So you need to sign in for some of those things. You want to support the players, bits of donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. If you want to support the studio, of course, you can go to KoFi. You can subscribe here on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitter, you can like the video on Twitter, comment on the video. That's all how you get Twitter to...
You mean YouTube.
Or YouTube, sorry. See my brain, I'm going too quick now. Too quick.
We do not post videos on Twitter.
No, we don't. Fuck Elon Musk. That's all I'm going to say. But I think that's...
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Now, Verlyn can give the schedule.
Yes. So coming up over the next week, we have on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Scion, Zero to Hero. Unfortunately, we had to miss an episode this past week, but we will be back this Tuesday. So join us as we pick up where we left off, with basically we've all met our divine parents, and some of them were just not that impressive. And join us as we figure out what the hell we're going to do now. And then on Saturday, Tiss and her crew will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern with Call of Cthulhu 7E London Esoteric Society. They will be coming back after an extended break that she needed to take, and it's going to be amazing.
I heard a rumor. I Am Grey will be even back.
Wow.
That episode, Grey's back.
I don't see that there yet. I'm looking at the player list. It looks like
I'm in the cast. I was reading the cast chat today.
Yeah, but I don't see that she's updated it.
Yeah. So You
So
might get to see Gray back. 'Cause
say Gray might be there. Yep. It looks like it'll be Gray, and Mortuous.
Yep.
So on the 13th. So join them at 3 p.m. Eastern for that fun romp through Victorian, Edwardian, turn of the century, 1900s.
They have not found a building they didn't want to blow up or burn down, and they're not planning to change that anytime soon.
No. And then, of course, we'll be back here Sunday with episode 8 of season 10 at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Shit's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We needed a lighter heart episode after 2 in a row of gut punching people, so we got one. And now I can gut punch them next episode. We'll see. And of course, as always, everybody, as we end these streams, please take your mental health seriously. Take the mental health of others seriously. Check in on people around you. If you haven't heard from them, make sure they're okay. Reach out to them. And, you know, a lot of people are struggling. And if you suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, in chats, listener numbers, you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there'll be a professional on the other end of the line who can help you out. Mental health is health, people. And there's nothing wrong with admitting you're not okay, because all of us are not okay at some point, and we all need help once in a while. So that's very important. And if you're not in the U.S., find a helpline right there in chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, find a helpline. You can put in your country of origin and find out the support for the country you're in. So please take care of yourselves, mentally and physically. And I'll let my wife do her part of the outro.
Y'all know, get your damn vaccines. Do your preventative screenings, because early detection saves lives, y'all. And get your checkups and get checked out if you're not feeling well. Also, fuck the fascists. Fuck Florida for passing the bill that they can basically take your children away if they suspect your children or you or even close relatives are transgender. Fuck all this nonsense. Fuck all this nonsense. Get registered to vote. Vote Democrat in the next election. Let's kill the GOP. For real. For real. So with love and a whole lot of fucking anger and fear.
I'm still mad about them trying to cut the veterans' benefits. It still pisses me to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's a subject near and dear to my heart because I am a veteran.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they want us to fucking default. They basically want us to.
They want to cut 20% from the VA's, but 22% from the VA's budget. VA don't have enough now. But yeah, I do thank you all for coming. I thank my players, and of course, I thank our guest here tonight. Catch her on Saturday playing Vampire over at the RPG table. Go catch her doing that. And I do thank you all for coming. Good night, everybody.